Hello there, my name is Wimp and welcome to the refit of the old open cockpit utility hover vehicle 17 Hover Wrecker. Here we go. This was a medium level repair and salvage vehicle that was based on the original hover driller here. I always get the name of that one and that one the wrong way round. Digger driller, okay, and it was based on the original of that. Now you could probably see just looking at the new one actually. Yes, so the new vehicle isn't gonna look like this at all. In fact, it's going to look like the updated low tier salvage and repair vehicle, which is this here. This is the hover breaker. I remembered before I needed to turn on my HUD. So this new one is going to be this but bigger, 2-person and tier 3 CPU. My plan is that the cab will be 2-person. Now I did think I was going to put the 2nd person in a separate little cab on the left hand side, and then the next one up to this I was going to do 2 people in the main cab with the extra little one on the side, but I think I'm actually going to save the new little cab on the left hand side for the next one up. It'll have 2 of the multi-turrets and I'm planning to stagger them upwards and backwards, so it'll be roughly where the lights are, but forward by a block maybe. I'm not entirely sure how the cab is going to work out, but I'm planning the front of it will be... Let me put my helmet on so I can turn my light on. There we go. This is the new update that Empyrion have introduced, where you can't have your torch on with your helmet off, because the torch is on the helmet. Yes, explanation. So I think I'm going to slope the front of the cab, and I think I'm going to slope it backwards rather than forwards. I think I'll leave the forward sloping front of the cab again for the next one up, and then the 2nd seat will be behind this and a block up, so it will be taller. Yeah, so I've got all the bits and pieces in my pockets already. I will turn my HUD on so we can see it, and as usual I got the starter arrow out ready as well. So like I said, this will be tier 3. Now, generator wise, I know already from having built these 2 down here that a small generator isn't enough to power a multi-turret, because the multi-turret requires 750 PUs and the small generator only provides 700 PUs, so 50 short. And the larger generator here has an output of 1500. So I know it's going to need at least 1500 to run this. I'm not the new one, I should say. I don't know why I'm still focusing on the breaker there. So I'm not entirely convinced actually that a large one and a small one will be enough. So I think what I'm going to have to do is 2, because the thrusters and the hover engines and the turrets and all that jazz, I'm not entirely convinced that a small generator will run it. And actually there is another reason as well, which I'll get to in a bit, and I'll come back to the generators when I get it out. Right, fuel wise, the breaker over here has 4 fuel tanks, So I think this one is going to have 5. Probably. It might have 6, but I'm probably going to go with 5. Right, it's going to have, like I said, 2 seats. Let's plop one there and one there. As I've already mentioned, there will be 2 of the multi-turrets. I'm going to put one there-ish, and then one... It's not going to let me put it where it actually will be. Imagine that, but back one more block. Right, so like the breaker, it's going to have drills so that you can get out of a hole that's left by dismantling a POI. But unlike the breaker, this is going to have 2 of them. And Yep. Now, I'm pretty sure the next one up I'm only going to put 2 on as well. If it has more than 2, it'll only be 3. So you might get away with using the next one up as a bit of a miner, but it won't be very good as a miner, because even the hover driller here has 4. So yeah. Now, because it's a civilian vehicle, it will have retractable turrets, and I'm planning to do 2 on this one. Can you go in the correct place, please? Thank you. I think what I'm going to do is have one in line with the cab, which at one point this one had as well as I was building it. And then, because it's going to be wider, I'm planning to do the 3 blocks of the cab, the 3 blocks for this multi-turret, and I'm going to add an extra block down the middle. So this will be the center line of the vehicle, whereas on this breaker it's here. So it will be 1 block wider. So I'm planning to then put the other Gatling turret in line with the tool turrets. Right, let me get the next lot of stuff out. Okay, so propulsion wise, I'm thinking I'm going to do, or at least try to get on, because it might not work depending on the design, but hopefully I can get it to work. 3 of the tier 1 larges for its forward thrust. I'm planning to do the same again for braking and reverse, and for its sideways, I think I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work, but I think I'm going to try to do 1 large and 2 mediums, possibly. Again, I'll have to see where they'll fit in, but that's what I'm going to try for. Now, this one is going to utilize the larger of the hover engines, and like the hover breaker over here, I'm going to have 2 underneath the multi-turrets, and then all other corners will have 1. And I'm also thinking it's going to need... yeah, I can't get another one in the center. Oh well, it'll have to be off-center. So I think another 1 for max lift. RCS-wise... 2 to 4? I think maybe 2 on by default and another 2 on max lift to help with turning. Not entirely sure if that's going to work, but there we go. It's probably going to have 2 of the jump boosters. Really? You're not going to let me put it there? You let me put that one there? There we go. Thank you, game. Right. It'll also have, obviously, a Wi-Fi. That's not where I wanted you to go. Not that it matters. And a detector. Yeah, I can go there. Yeah, mumble. Actually... Oh! It... Yeah, okay. It put 2. Okay, whatever. Right, let me get the next lot of stuff out. Okie dokie. So like that one over there, its interior will be pressurized, so we'll need a ventilator. The breaker has 2 O2 tanks, and other vehicles have had this similar ratio as well, where I give 1 tank per person, so this is 2 people, so 2 tanks, and then an extra one as a kind of backup, as it were, and an O2 tank so that they can get some oxygen if they've been out and about. Now, ammo box. So I'm planning that and 4 extensions. 2, 3, which should be 7. No, not quite. Maybe 3 extensions. I don't know. 500 for 2 turrets. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Possibly, hopefully. And the ore and wood container. Boop. So these salvage and repair vehicles have an ore and wood container that is double what the last salvage and repair vehicle had. So the breaker is 5,000 and this one is close to 2,500. So this is going to have 10,000. I can't be bothered to put all the extensions on, but imagine that, but with an extra bit more here to add it up to 10,000. Then of course the docking pads. 1, 2, 4 probably. I've got to put it there. Yeah, fine, whatever. Right, next lot of stuff. So as you can see, this one is also going to be made out of steel like the breaker, with normal windows and a bit of carbon composite. Now I have some possibles down here along the bottom, and you'll see that one of the possibles is the shield and a pentaxid tank. Now the shield has a CPU of 15,400 and a tier 3 is 30,000. So I'm hoping, without me putting the shield generator on here, it'll be less than 15. I'm hoping. Now I did some maths, and the 2 multi-turrets, the 2 minigun turrets, and the 2 drills come to 8,000. So that's still within tier 2. So I'm hoping the rest are going to be, you know, not quite 5,000. Yeah, not quite 5,000, but I'll see how it goes. Right, next lot of stuff, and it's just the kind of usual stuff now. So there will be a couple of shutter doors. There will of course be a door into the cab. It'll be glass because it's a glass cab, so it'll have force fields, and then of course some lights and possibly some cargo boxes, but I'll leave them down there for now. So the breaker has 1 shutter covering the ore and wood container controller, and another one covering the O2 tanks. I'm probably only going to do the same. 1, 2. I might do a 3 wide door on this one because it's 2 seats, and then yeah, the block in the middle of the seats, assuming I do a block. Oh, I might not actually. I was going to say the block in the between the 2 seats will be the middle of the door, but I'm not entirely sure if I actually will do a block in the middle. I might leave that for the next one up. Then of course the 3 force fields to cover up the O2 getting out. So like this one, it'll have at least 1 headlight and some work lights. I'm thinking that the cab is going to be in line with the front of this multi-turret here. So I don't actually think I'm going to need one on this side that points diagonally to the right. So it's probably only going to need 5 of these. Although, whoops, the CPU isn't going to be too much of an issue with these things because they're only 1 each as far as I remember. And so that'll be the little work light array there. And then a headlight as well. Bink. Maybe 2, but we'll see. Then of course the tail lights and the hazard beacons. I'm probably going to do 2 on each side of those. Okay, so I do have a constructor here. Now if it comes down to a constructor or a shield, the constructor is gone. So let's now have a quick look at the CPU, and it needs to be under 14,600. Wish me luck. Yeah. It doesn't actually leave much for blocks, does it? Although the blocks are only worth the blocks are only worth 1 each, but of course the container extensions are worth 15 CPU each. I'm not sure this is going to have a shield, and that's a shame. I think I'm going to try adding on enough extensions here that I get that up to 10,000 and see what the CPU is then. I'm pretty sure it won't have a shield now. I was hoping it would, but it doesn't look like it will. So I'm going to edit this bit out as I place these extensions. When I come back, if there's a shield and a pentaxid tank on my hotbar, it means I've decided, or I've managed to figure out a way to put on the shield. If the constructor is on my hotbar, you know that the shield wouldn't go on. So I'll see you in a minute. Yep. Constructor, not shield. Put my hand back in the wrong place. Da da da. Righto then, there we go. What are we on now? 17 out of 30. It really is a shame those shields are so expensive in CPU, but there you go. Never mind. Balancing, isn't it, I suppose. Right, so that is the plan. Other than maybe a couple of cargo boxes. Oh. I do have some of the normal size hover engines. Maybe I'll use them down the middle instead of one of the larger ones. Maybe like that, possibly? For max lift, maybe? Possibly? I don't know. Righto then, I'm going to start throwing some blocks around like I normally do. I'm going to tidy up those lights first because that's triggering triggering me. And then I'm going to get rid of those. Not that it really matters. Righto then, there we go. See you in a bit. Right, I've got the front end done so far. Yes. So, not too sure about this. Now, I know I want the turrets, the defense turrets, to be one in line of the cab and one in line of these multi-turrets. I might have to go up by half a block. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention as I was going through the plans that the hull of the HoverWrecker is the wall panel shapes, and the hull of this, the bodywork, is a half block shape. Those half cubes, and then the next one up would be full cubes. That's kind of the idea. So yeah, I don't want the Gatling turrets to be on that block there, because then especially the ones behind these look like they're on the same level, so I might have to bring it up. Now I didn't actually want the lights to come out any more than that. See, on this one they don't come out any further than the side of the vehicle, but I can't do the same. No, I can't do the same as that one because I want a Gatling turret there. I did just think maybe I could have them both behind the cab. That needs to be turned around. There we go. Yeah, whatever. Rotated polarity thing. So originally I had these two seats on this block here, so that there was a 2-block walkway along the cab, but then I couldn't fit almost all of this in, so I did that instead. But I mean, you can see where everything sort of is now. There we go. Not sure about the one fridge. Suppose I could tuck another one in here. I forgot something else, didn't I? Oh yeah, there you go, the armor locker. I did think about having an armor locker in here, and then I forgot about that during the plans as well, but there it is. Okay, constructors there. Looks a bit odd, but you know, it'll do. So far I've got the 2 generators down there next to one of the CPU extenders, which is a bit meh, but you know, there was a space, a 2x2 space, and because I wanted 2 of those, it was, you know, nice fill in for the space. Fuel tanks are behind that shutter. I managed to get 6 in, and I've got these container extensions in now because I was checking to see if this was airtight. Originally I had one of the drills there where that headlight is. I keep making this mistake as well with the drills. You hover over things like so the oxygen, airtight, false. You see it says red, false. Then you go to things like CPU extender, airtight, true, green, right? And a lot of them are like that. And then if you don't pay attention, you hover over the drill, you see it says green, true there in green letters. But of course that's that's not for airtightness. I didn't look to see what it was that was true in green letters. It's not airtight, it's retractable. I mean, makes no sense, but because there isn't a non-retractable drill, so why mention that they are? But anyway, so I did the same on this one as well. I originally put the drill there, and of course it was not airtight, so meh. And then I made the exact same mistake. So whenever I do the intro for the tour and I go chief designer, chief builder, chief architect, chief dumbass, I'm not lying, I am a I am a dumbass. So they're off center. Well, one is exactly in center, and then the other one is right out over the side. The problem is that I don't know how to fix that, really. Unless I get rid of that fridge, put another container extension there. I'm pretty sure... Do you know what? I'm going to give that a try. Because I'm pretty sure the game would consider this to be airtight. Because this window that window panel is within this block. So yeah, I think I'll give it a try and I'll see what I can do. There is still a space in front of the cockpit seat, I mean, meh. I mean, it would look like that from the outside. I mean, it's an option. It's an option. I think I will try. If I can get that drill there, I will be happy happier moving that one inward by another block. So I will give that a try now, but I thought I'd give you an update on what I've got. I moved all this stuff up so I could take the screenshot for the refitting of thumbnail, in case you're wondering why it's all the way up there. Yeah, so it's coming along. You can see it's related to that. Yeah. Oh, and I gave... Ah, okay. I gave the slope there. Oh, yeah, no, it still needs a slope because you can't reach all of that gubbins from out here. So, yeah, it still needs to be there. O2 tanks, I forgot if I said. I don't think I did I? I've got 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. As I said, there would be 1 each for the crew and then 1 spare for redundancy. Right, then I'll give that a try and I'll bring you back later on when I've got probably mostly finished by then actually, but we'll see. Right then, see you in a bit. Right, update time. I've got this so far. So I couldn't get that mechanical drill there. Can't remember why now, because the last clip you saw was actually recorded on December 22nd, I believe it was, or 23rd of last year, and it is currently July 26th. So it's been a little while, and I can't remember now why. It's actually possible that I haven't even tried it yet, and I just don't remember. But the fact that that's still there, and I have moved that drill in by 1 block, suggests that I did, and it didn't work, and I put it back. But I don't actually know. Sue me. Right. So, what have we got? So I've started placing some of the container extensions in, and I've got the 2 turrets sort of in situ. I've also moved a wireless connection to there and plopped the detector on the front of it. I thought that might be a kind of fun place for it. I've also moved the stuff that was on the bottom, and I think the Wi-Fi was one of them. The 2 generators are now there, and they're going to be behind these shutters. I thought it would be a little bit more protected there. Yeah. And the CPU extender that was underneath. So it was under there where those 2 blocks I've just removed were. But now it's there. I kind of wanted to keep them hidden away a little bit better. What else? Oh, and I've done some maths with these hover engines, and as you can see I've decided to do less. Now I still think this corner where these 2 multi-tool turrets are is going to need a big hover engine because they are heavy, but that arrangement there, I've done the maths, you saw the calculator just now, those will lift 285.5 tons. So that's kilograms. 285,520.5 kilograms. So then you move the decimal place to make tons, so 285 tons. And the vehicle as it is at the moment weighs not even 1/10 of that. So actually I think I can get away with that even with the containers full. If not, I will add a few more on the bottom of the small ones probably. CPU wise we're still miles under. So just over half. Although I haven't even got half of the container extensions on yet. Wrong button. So I've played quite a few games since the last clip. The most recent one, or the most recent two actually, I'll talk about. I played Grounded and then Satisfactory. We completed Grounded. Satisfactory, we tried update 8. It was buggy. We kind of decided to stop playing it. So I'm getting buttons mixed up, and that's where I was going with that. But as you can see, so the volume currently of this container is nowhere near what I want it to be. I want it to be 10,000 and it's only at 1,300. Is that right? I want it to be double this. Yeah, that's 5,000 and I want it to be 10,000. How? Container extensions. 39 in there at the moment. Just doesn't seem right. There seems like there's a lot in there. Container extensions 40. 40. So I've got one less extension. Oh, I think I see. So I made a space in the middle for these RCSs. Yeah, I got it. And I think this little box is no longer connected there. If I do that, there we go. That makes a lot more sense now. Now, that's still 41. No, actually, it still doesn't make any sense. There's now 41, so I added those two. Oh, yeah, it does make sense because it was counting. Yeah, sorry. Again, this is my first day back to this game. It's been a while. Right, so 41 container extensions on the entire vehicle, not 41 connected to that controller. So, yeah, it makes complete sense now. And the reason it's not 5,000, I'm guessing, is because of those container extensions there. They are 4 extensions, but they are less than a whole block. Oh, yeah, something like that. There might also be, maybe that one's not connected either, I don't know. Whatever. So, I'm not sure how big this thing's going to be. I think it's going to come out to there. Maybe one. Maybe underneath it. Well, we'll see. Maybe underneath the turrets. Right, so there we go. That's the progress so far. Oh, I think the lights are new as well. I've done that with the arrangement. Put the forward one in the middle. The sideways ones are there. And that one that goes to the right is there. Changed that ramp going up into those doors just because I think that would be easier to jump up onto and then walk in than the triangles I had there before. Right, there we go. Anything else? I don't think so, but then I wouldn't know, would I? So I'll see you in the next clip. Right, there we go then. Mostly blocked out. I mean, there have been new block shapes, which of course I am very grateful for. For example, that one. And I think that one's new. And that one. Aye, so there are some block shapes that I kind of did the best I could. Like there, for example, and stuff. And there again. But it'll do. Yep. So, I managed to get the controller, the container even, up to 10,000. Yeah, and I made the back symmetrical, and I've given I've put on the tail lights already and the hazard beacons. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Oh, I brought the turrets forward. I think I brought... can't remember actually. Did I bring that one forward by 1 and that one forward by 2? Or is that one in the same place and that was only come forward by 1? Yeah, I think that's it. That one's in the same place and that one's come forward by 1. I mean, she's, yeah, again, as I've said with others of my vehicles, she's not going to win any beauty contests, but she is form following function. So I replaced the thin blocks around the front of the tall turret, as I have here, with the half blocks. I wasn't actually planning to, but it looked a bit odd with those lights on the side of this turret and then really thin blocks, so I did that, which I kind of like actually. So there we go, that's what I've got so far. All that's left then in regards of placing blocks is all the propulsion-y jobs and the docking pads. And again, I've left the bottom fairly flat for putting stuff on. Oh, one thing is that large hover engine might become two mediums, two small ones even, sorry, as well, because either that or I'll add two small ones to this side under here, yeah, there-ish, because most of the container extensions, if I can get underneath, not quite, so yeah, most of the container extensions are on this side of the vehicle, which means most of the weight from cargo will be over there as well. Yeah, and there's just not that much over here, but there we go, got that so far. Right, so I'll see you when the engines and stuff have all been put on. Right, I think she's oh no, there was one more thing I wanted to do, although I'm not entirely sure how to do it, so I might not do it at all. I was thinking about a little platform that you stand on to access the container controller, a little bit like this one on the breaker. That is the breaker, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to bother. But there you go. I mean, you can definitely tell it's the bigger brother, can't you? It is a shame, actually. So all the thrusters and stuff are on, and it is a shame I couldn't recess them into the blocks above. And from maybe there back, I could have. No, even then, even on this side, it wouldn't have been able to, because of course it would have broke into the floor of the cab. Yeah, from there back-ish, I would say. But yeah, it'll do. We're not going to ding it, not this time. So there we go. I just need to paint it and do all the logic signals and all of that stuff and the block grouping. But she's built at least. They look a bit more wheel archy than they were supposed to, don't they? But the thing is, if I want it... because that one doesn't. It does there, but not there. So maybe all the thrusters don't have to have that block shape in front of them. Okay. Well, if I change that, I'll show you when I have done all the block grouping and that kind of stuff. Right, see you in a mo. Right then. progress has been made. So I've done all of the device grouping and naming. That one didn't need to be renamed. I've renamed that group in case anyone gives a shit. But yeah, I've done all of that and all of the signal logic. I mean, it wasn't much, but it is done. There have been a couple of very small changes though. The first is that there was a window pane there, and I've replaced it with some blocks just so I had somewhere to put an exterior light on for lighting up the area around that side of the vehicle. I did kind of want to put one on this side as well because the shutter doors are on this side too. I couldn't find a place to put it though. Yeah, there possibly, but it would look a bit weird that that block is sticking out on that line but it's going in there, you know. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is fly down onto the planet and give it a bit of a test drive. Oh yeah, I have also, I think since the last time I recorded, added some extra max lift hover engines onto the bottom. It's just those 3 small ones. And if those 2 aren't enough in this corner, there is obviously space to replace them with a bigger one. But I suspect it would be, because there's just not much here. But yeah, we'll see. Right then, I'll see you on the planet. Right then. I've spawned it in, I've put a bit of fuel in it. Am I okay with that jump? No, actually I'm not. How can I fix that? I'll have a play with that afterwards. But I mean, this is a 1G planet and that's as high as I can jump. That might need to be some extendable ramps maybe. Although where would I put the sensor? I don't know. Interesting. Okay. Let's turn on that pilot mode. Okay, seems to be alright. Okay, is it page down? Yes it is. Oh, I have to keep pressing it. Am I sinking on that side? No. Okay, so those 2 small hover engines are fine then, by the looks of it. I do want to do another test. That's a problem, isn't it? Why does it put me there? I'm not sure how to fix that, to be honest. So you get into the seat there, and you're stood there, but it puts you back here? Why? There's less space there than there is there. Well, shit. How about if I got rid of that? And I did that instead. No. Oh, it's the door I'm stuck on. Okay, it's an easy fix then. I put the door on the outside of the block and the force field, yeah, on the inside. All right, cool. That's good to know. Cool, good, right, good, cool. So what I'm going to do now is fill up the box with stuff. Okay, I've got some Sathium to fill it with. No, I forget it does that. Close enough. Cool. Get rid of those. Okay, let's see how it handles now. Oh, Was I just going down the hill? Yeah, I think I was. Okay, well I'm happy with that. Oh, it is slightly... Oh yeah, I don't have max lift on, do I? Max lift. Does that help? It is sort of sinking forwards. That's interesting because the container extensions don't go beyond that block as far as I know. Even here? Yeah, even here. There. I mean, there might be one or two actually in the top there, but yeah, there's a couple here. Okay, so on this side they do, but not by much. But I mean, even still. Okay, so I mean, CPU wise, there's loads to play with. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go back up in orbit. Okay, I think I might put another small one there and another small one there on the max lift. That's the plan. Right, so test drive over. I got a couple of things to fix then. That, the door and the force field, and a couple more max lift hover engines, and then I'll see you once it's painted. There we go, she's all painted. I'm relatively happy with it now. Yeah, you can definitely tell that she's related to the Breaker, the bigger sister. I mean, you're supposed to be able to tell, and she is related. So the fixes from the last clip, from the test drive, I've put on a couple more hover engines for the max lift. I've done that for climbing up into the cab, and the door is now on the outside of... Oops, I missed a bit. Is now on the outside of the vehicle. I usually use that one for this kind of thing. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so I've been back down onto the planet to try it, and when you get out the driver's seat and it puts you here, you can in fact walk down and out through the door. I just saw another bit missing. Ooh, what can I put there? I'm feeling like a bit of the outside yellow. No, in fact, some of the secondary yellow. That one. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I've already started this recording 3 times and then found bits I've missed. But there we go. I mean, failing another bit of damaged texture that I've missed, she is finished. So thank you very much for taking an interest in how the HoverWrecker was built. Hopefully you found it interesting, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Either the tour for this vehicle or in another one for a different vehicle. So thank you again, and goodbye.